Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about how I groom my horse personally and some other things just to help you guys understand how I do stuff, and maybe this could help you in the future or right now if you're struggling with maybe grooming your horse. Okay, so when I'm grooming my horse, I usually never tie him up. I think the last time I had to tie Chance up for something was the farrier, and I do need to get the farrier out because his hooves are getting a little long, but I'll go into more of hoof care in a little bit. But anyways, back on track, I never tie him up because I don't have to, because I always give him hay, and this is a good idea to, when you're grooming your horse, give them some kind of enrichment, like giving them hay to eat. And this also helps with before you ride them, because their stomach has something in there before they go on the ride so that they have something to digest. And I've seen this personally when I rode at the lesson barn that I went to, that if I gave the horses some hay with permission, that she would not quote unquote act up as much, because she did have some stomach problems. So I did give her some hay before, and she seemed to really calm down, and it just really helped. So if like you're gonna go ride your horse or a lesson horse, it is good to ask permission to give them hay before a ride, just to help have their stomach have something to like digest while they're being ridden. Also, you can see a little bit later that on this little brush right here, I'm using a soft brush just because Chance does not like the stiff brushes right here. I am putting fly spray onto the brush, and he still will accept the fly spray, but it just seems to help, like if your horse is still very shy, even after doing some fly spray desensitizing. If you spray it onto the brush and then brush it onto them, I find that this really helps them, and it's just a little way to maybe kind of secretly put on the fly spray if they're scared of stuff being sprayed at them. But yeah, this seems to really help Chance, and this fly spray I'm using also shines his coat, which is why he's like this. But that's also probably to his natural diet, because as you can see from these photos, he was on an all-grain diet for I shifted him over to all natural diet, and you can just see in the photos the difference that it made in his coat. There's tons of things, tons of pros, and there's a couple cons of having an all forage based diet for your horse. Pros, it helps with ligament health, gut health, lowers the chance of ulcers and colic, and a couple other things that I can probably put on the screen that I forgot. But it just really seems to help if you have your horse on an all-natural diet. Of course, every horse is different and they have different needs, but I just found this really helps for my horse. Forage-based diet also helps with hoof health, and I found that when I changed him to the all forage-based diet, when I took him places, like I usually never take him places, but when I did, I got people and my farrier saying, "Oh, his hoofs look so healthy," and I was like, "Yeah, he's on an all forage-based diet," and I said that it like really helps him, and they said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to try it out," because my farrier, first time, she was like, "His hooves look good." This was like his first time ever getting his hooves trimmed. She was like, "Oh, his hooves look good, but they do look a little like lacking of something." And I changed him to the all forage based diet, and next time she came, she was like, "Wow, these look great." but I use that, but I definitely prefer the non-liquid part because that does well, but I seem that this works awfully well, and the liquid stuff is like $15, and I run out very quickly, and I use that in almost a daily basis. But the other stuff that you can like scoop out, that was $20, and that's definitely worth $20 because I've used that non-stop and I still had a ton left. So I went through 3 of those liquid bottles in the same time. I've went through probably 1/3 of that little scoop bottle there. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something new. Bye!
You were like a ransom note. If I give in, will you come home? I put everything I had into getting you